Let's continue, and we're gonna take a look at the different views we got. I personally work a lot with the external screen, but you got the same thing on screen number 2, screen number 3, or screen number 4. I'm only gonna explain it now on the external screen. The external screen is made for a resolution, I think it's 1600. Let's take a look. The external screen is with 1280 to 800. Okay, 1280 to 800. Let's go to the external screen. We're gonna start in the logic way of cloning. When we come to our menu, the first thing is the fixtures, and we can create groups out of our fixtures. Here I got some macros. For example, if you're in a train or on a plane, you can already prepare something without having a command wing or without the need of always opening the command overlay. So I got the most important things for my workflow. This is clear, store, align, label, highlight, previous and next. So in this screen later I'm gonna create the groups of our fixtures or of our clone fixtures. Now we got here a few with layouts. Here we got as fixed layouts, the layouts of our spots, the beams, the wash and the LED. And here's a selective layout. The selective layout you can choose here. And here later we're gonna put our cloned fixtures inside. Also here are groups of our cloned fixtures and some MA tricks that you could use or that could be useful. Again, the macros. Then we got here a clone page, and here I'm gonna use normally the clone from, and here I make a selection, the clone to. At the moment it's empty. Here a few macros for cloning. To unlock the clone commands, here you copy the source, what you want to clone, and here to where you want to clone. And then I made cloning preset sequences and groups. You see here there is no cloning of effects because I work with a macro with effects. For me it's more comfortable and much faster. Okay, I lock this again. Here now you got a page for the presets if you want to change the presets of the cloned fixtures. And well, I think it's self-explaining. I'm not working with fixtures for all groups. I've seen it's much more comfortable for me to work with presets for all kind of groups I've got. Here the spots, the beams, later the wash, and so on. The only fixture that, let's say, is for all of our groups are the color fixtures. Now I made another view for the position. I think that's the thing that takes most of the time if we are in a live situation. And here you got later your view of the cloned fixtures and our stage. And it's very easy here to adjust positions to the cloned fixtures and the new venue. Now the very important thing, the effects. Again, the color coding. With the red lights we got the effects for our spots. Here blue, the effects for our beams, the wash lights, and here with the violet color for our LED lights. Here you got the groups. And here is a very important thing. I'm gonna copy here with this macro, with the macro 11, I can copy all the effects back to our original lights. And here I can use it for our clone selection. You're gonna see later it's sometimes easier to not to not clone the effects from the originals, but to create new effects. And it's very fast with this macro. It's a very long macro This is copying the groups to the effects as a selection, and then it's copying the effects to our executors, to our macros. And here's another macro, that's a bump creator. As I said before, I had here as bump buttons only my wash lights and my LED lights. But here, if you fancy, here you can choose the bump groups and it's creating new bump buttons. And that's it. And I think now it's a good moment to start and make an example cloning.